Hello, it's Paul from CRO and in today's video we are going to be looking at a website that I actually really like. I think the design is really nice, and the site is Tolt. And Tolt offer a affiliate marketing platform for SaaS startups. So they specifically target people using payment gateways like Stripe in order to help them set up a easy to use affiliate program. And what I immediately like about the site is it's got very strong kind of colours that draw your attention in. It looks a well designed site, and that makes you have more confidence in the website and the product of what they're offering. I also like this graphic here. So this kind of animated GIF isn't just there just to look pretty, it's actually showing us what the platform looks like in the back end. So they're making full use of that space. Now, a lot of sites will just have some meaningless image in this area, which can help to add to the look and feel of it, but kind of wastes a really valuable space. So anything above the fold, so that's before we start scrolling, is actually quite important from a conversion point of view. And we want to make the most of that. We want to give people a reason to scroll down the page. And so rather than having a meaningless image, if you can have something like this that adds to the message and actually, in this case, shows the platform in action, that can be really powerful for improving conversions. The one thing I'd like to see them do here is maybe bring in some text to that graphic to actually explain what they're showing you. At the moment, it just kind of shows you different pages on the platform, and to be quite frank, that doesn't really help you understand exactly what the benefits of the platform are. So they could just bring in a small part of text on each of those screens just to explain what the key benefit is that they're actually showing you at that point, and that would improve that section massively. In terms of the headline itself, so we've got affiliate marketing software for SaaS startups. I think that's good. It tells you what it does. It's not maybe one of the more traditional copywriting titles that you might hear that you should write, which is putting benefits in there or questions or um, making curiosity, but it is telling you exactly what the platform does. And then it follows up with this subhead, which reads, an all-in-one solution to launch your own affiliate program. Tolt helps SaaS startups build and run their affiliate and referral programs, worked with Stripe, Paddle, and Chargebee. I like that this is very to the point of exactly what this product is and also exactly who it's aimed at. So another common mistake that people make is to try and aim their product or software or whatever they're offering at as broader audience as possible. And they shy away from narrowing it down to the exact people that would be interested in what they offer. Tolt aren't doing that on their website. They're telling you exactly who the software is made for. It's made for SaaS startups. And it tells you exactly what it does. It helps you build and run your affiliate and referral programs, and it tells you exactly what it works with: Stripe, Paddle, and Chargebee. I think that's a great subhead. I think, how could you make it better? Maybe if you were to bring in some more benefit driven copy to explain why it's better than the other solutions out there, possibly you could improve it in that way. But I think on the whole, it's a reasonable headline and subhead that would draw the right people in and make them more interested in reading on the rest of the website. I like the fact that we've got some reviews up there for some immediate trust building. What I don't like about that, though, is that if I was to click this here, it then takes me off to this external website. So we're now on the Capterra website. And great, it's a page still about Tolt and telling you why it's good and what the reviews say about it and things. So it might help to add to the sales message. But equally, there's a lot of other options that people could click on here and start navigating away from Tolt and completely forget why they were on the Tolt website to begin with. So I'm just going to go back to the Tolt website here. So I would certainly look to change this to open in a new window or a new tab, because at the moment, it's a potential traffic leak. We're relying on people going off to Capterra and then not getting drawn in to looking around the Capterra website, but to actually then click the back button and come back to Tolt. So I would certainly look to bring that into to opening a new tab. And I'd possibly look, there's an area here that's a little bit empty that could be a good space for putting a testimonial, so we can immediately kind of reassure people that the product that they're looking at is a good quality product that is right for them. I think the CTAs, launch your program, I think that's a okay CTA. I prefer the start your 14 days free trial, which is used in the header. I think if it was me, I would rather use that as the main CTA here. But what I think I have more of a problem with is the colour of these CTAs mean that they actually blend into the design of the site. So this site has some really strong colours throughout, and it's really pops and it's really in your face. But the CTAs are actually quite subtle and not, they don't stand out as a result of all of these other bright colours around them. And so I think that kind of needs to be reversed a little bit. I wouldn't want to lose the nice design that we've got around some of these areas, but I certainly think more could be done to make these CTAs stand out a little bit more. So immediately when we hover over that and we get the brighter colour, I think that stands out much more. And if we were to use one single bright colour throughout just for the CTAs, I think that could really help to bring them out. As we start looking further down the page, so just before I scroll, let's have a look at this bottom section here. I like the fact that they brought in some other logos, and that all helps to add trust and credibility. The one thing I'd say is, are these logos that the target customer would actually recognize? Because personally, I don't really recognize any of these, not immediately. And so if that's the same for their target customers, then these logos would have much less benefit than if they were actually brands that people would recognize. So it's always worth thinking about that. The brands have to be relatable and recognizable where possible by your target customers. I'd also question the inclusion of the backed by leading investors launch option here. I think that actually is okay, but it's a waste of a good part of the space. I'd rather see that towards the bottom of the site because I don't think it adds much from a conversion point of view. As we scroll down and we come to the next section here, so everything to help your SaaS grow with affiliate marketing. I think this section's good because we've got three kind of clear benefits of what the product is. I think it's kind of over-designed. I would like to see a little bit simpler design, especially around where the text is. I think there's a lot of text here to read, and the design doesn't really help you to read that text. And it's good text as well. I wouldn't want people to overlook this. I think it's useful. We're talking about the benefits and we're emphasizing why Tolt is a good platform to use. So I'd like to see a little bit more kind of white space around here, maybe making this a white background with darker text, and looking at what else we can do to make these a little bit easier to read and stand out. As we go further down the page, we get to this section here where you can actually click through and read different things about the platform. I think that's okay, but I'm always more of a fan of getting, if something's important enough to be on the website, it should be visible to everybody, and we shouldn't be relying on people clicking through. So if any of these sections are actually really important to the conversion message, it feels a shame to actually hide them behind this navigation, which not everybody is going to see and not everybody is going to use. So that would be one thing to look at if I was Tolt, as to whether we can actually bring those into a page without that kind of secondary navigation in there. Then as we go down a little bit further, again, we've got some nice design elements. It's a really nice looking site, and it all adds to that kind of feeling that this is a good brand, and we could feel comfortable in using their product. As we go a little bit further and we get to the pricing section here, the comparison section. I thought this was going to be pricing, but it's not. The pricing isn't actually shown yet. And you're able to compare Tolt to the competitors. I think to make this section a little bit easier to kind of immediately see what it's talking about, I'd put a different coloured background around here, maybe a green background, or make these ticks green, just to show that this is the positive side, because this is the Tolt side, and the competitors are more on the negative side. So this is what we do better than the competitors. So a good way to signify that would be with colour indications as to this is pro and this is kind of what we're up against. As we get to here, again, nice little section, just some more features that make us better than the competition. If we're going with that as a headline for this section, then we need to make sure that these are all things that actually the competitors do not do as well or don't do at all. And just looking at these, I would think that some of the competitors might argue these are easy to use. I doubt that this is the only platform that kind of claims to be easy to use. Manually approve affiliates, not sure if that feels to me like as much of a benefit as what they're making out, but maybe it is to the target audience. But that would be the key thing here, to focus on that and make sure that each of these is telling you why the benefit is important. So for instance, let's say this one here, custom email notifications, edit and brand email notifications for your affiliates, including payout emails, new referrals, and more. Okay, that's great, but why is that important? So if that's because it saves you time, or it improves email response, or whatever the actual benefit of having this is, it would be good to put that in there, even if it's just one line at the end that really makes it clear this is why this is important. And then as we scroll down a little bit further, again, a nice colourful section. One thing I haven't seen as we've gone through the page is any real testimonials. So at the top of the site, they've got the Capterra listing, the little button there that shows it's got 5 stars. But so far, we haven't seen a single testimonial as we've gone through the page. If I go a little bit further, there isn't any testimonials on the page, which is a really strange thing. If you've got testimonials available, you should make sure they're on the website, and you should make sure that people see them. They should take quite a high position on the site, because that social proof is so important, and it is what will get you conversions. And so the decision, clearly they've got positive reviews, but the decision not to show them on the landing page, I think, is a mistake, and it is one of the key things I would look to change if I was in charge of this website. Then if we carry on just a little bit further, so we get to this something from our blog section. I'm not a big fan of putting these kind of things on a homepage, on a landing page, because again, they're traffic leaks. If we send somebody off into the blog, you have to make sure that the blog layout and the text and everything is very much geared towards getting conversions. And ultimately, most blogs are not, and probably shouldn't be, because they're about informing people and giving them good information. And that might lead to a conversion later down the line, but it's not the primary purpose. And so on that basis, I would say sending people off to blog posts when we're trying to sell the product and what we can offer them is potentially a mistake. And I think that would look much better in the footer if we include it anywhere at all. I think the end of the page is good. Launch in 15 minutes, putting a time to it, a short time, it makes it sound easy. I like that. Start growing on autopilot with an affiliate program. Again, clear benefit. And also talking about time saving. The easier we can make things sound, the better. Sign up and launch your program within 15 minutes. Start growing your startup with Tolt. And then the CTA of launch your program. I think this is a good section to end the page. Again, maybe you could get a little bit more in there in terms of exactly what's on offer. But I think emphasizing the speed and the ease is a good strategy for the end of the page. And then just looking at the bottom there, I think that footer is probably much longer than it needs to be. I think there would be ways to reduce the length of that, so it doesn't take up quite as much of an area of the site. However, that's a relatively minor kind of point. I think the big things for this page would be to make the CTAs stand out better and improve the social proof and trust building elements, and make sure that it's really obvious as to why Tolt is the best platform for somebody to use.